While the NBA Finals are still taking place, the 28 other teams are preparing for an offseason that is expected to be full of moves. One of those teams is the Golden State Warriors, who are looking to upgrade their roster around their veteran trio of Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. Golden State put together a solid season that changed drastically after they acquired Butler at the trade deadline, who helped lead them to the second round of the playoffs. Unfortunately for Golden State, an injury suffered by Curry in Game 1 ultimately led to them being eliminated in 5 games by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now the Warriors enter a crucial offseason with many holes to fill on their roster. Because of this, they could elect to go after another star player, and they have surprisingly been named the favorites to land an all-star forward from the Western Conference. According to Bovada, the Warriors are the favorites, plus 205, to land Lauri Markkanen from the Utah Jazz this summer. They're followed by the Miami Heat, plus 250, Orlando Magic, plus 325, and Dallas Mavericks, plus 450. Of course, the Warriors were linked to Markkanen last offseason as trade rumors ran wild surrounding the 28-year-old forward until Utah signed him to a contract extension that made him ineligible to be traded until this summer. With the Jazz still being a bottom feeder in the West, they could elect to reopen trade talks for Markkanen this summer, and the Warriors would be an interesting landing spot for him. Markkanen would give Golden State much-needed size due to his 7-foot frame, and he would also give them another reliable scorer and defender next to their aging stars. Despite this, Golden State would likely have to include either Green or Butler in a trade for him due to salary reasons, which could benefit the Warriors due to Markkanen's age, as he could be a centerpiece of their future after their stars retire. For over a decade, Klay Thompson was the stoic sharpshooter who, alongside Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, defined the Golden State Warriors' dynastic run. The era of the Splash Brothers was marked by 4 NBA championships, 6 finals appearances, and a revolutionary style of basketball that cemented Thompson as a Bay Area legend. However, in the summer of 2024, Thompson's departure to the Dallas Mavericks signaled the end of an era. His exit was bittersweet, marred by feelings of being slighted and pushed out by the Warriors' front office, alongside a declining role and a scoreless performance in his final game. As the 2024-25 season concluded with the Warriors' second-round playoff exit against the Minnesota Timberwolves, speculation about a potential reunion with Thompson resurfaced. Recent reports, including mock trade proposals and sentiments from fans and analysts, suggest that bringing Thompson back to Golden State could be both a strategic and emotional move. But is a reunion feasible, and would it benefit a Warriors team navigating the twilight of its dynasty? Klay Thompson's controversial departure. Thompson's final years with the Warriors were tumultuous. Injuries, including a torn ACL in 2019 and a torn Achilles in 2020, sidelined him for 2 full seasons. When he returned, he was not the same two-way force. His defensive mobility waned, and his offensive consistency fluctuated, culminating in a 2023-24 season where he averaged 17.9 points with 38.7% shooting from three-point range and was sometimes relegated to a bench role. According to Tim Kawakami on The Tom Tolbert Show, Thompson's discomfort with younger players vying for his role, combined with Draymond Green's influence, created friction in the locker room. Does Thompson have anything left in the tank? In Dallas, Thompson's 2024-25 season was solid but unspectacular. He averaged 14.0 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 2.0 assists while shooting 39.1% from three-point range, providing spacing for Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. However, injuries to key Mavericks players and a play-in elimination underscored a disappointing campaign. Thompson called the idea of regretting his move ridiculous, while acknowledging the challenges of the season. Despite his decline, Thompson remains one of the NBA's premier shooters. His 39.1% three-point shooting in Dallas this season proves he can still stretch defenses, a critical need for a Warriors team that thrives on spacing. Golden State's offense, built around Curry's gravity and Steve Kerr's motion-heavy system, is perfectly suited for Thompson's off-ball movement and catch-and-shoot abilities. Clutch Point's Jed Pagaduan argued that Thompson should at least be better than the version of Moody that showed up in the 2025 NBA playoffs, proposing a mock trade that would send Moses Moody and Gue Santos to Dallas for Thompson. Thompson would need to accept a reduced role in a Warriors reunion. The Warriors and their fans have never stopped loving Klay Thompson, evidenced by the franchise's heartfelt response to the passing of his beloved Bulldog, Rocco, in May 2025, and the emotional ovation during his return to Chase Center as a Maverick on November 12, 2024. A reunion could mend the wounds of Thompson's departure, which left fans and the organization grappling with the end of the Splash Brothers era. Bringing Thompson back could galvanize the fanbase and locker room, reinforcing the Warriors' identity as a franchise that honors its legends. Thompson's role would likely be reduced, potentially as a sixth man, a scenario that contributed to his departure in 2024. Kerr's breakfast meeting with Thompson in Manhattan Beach, where he discussed a fluctuating role, reportedly pushed Klay toward Dallas. The Warriors, already navigating the luxury tax, would need to send out matching salaries, likely involving Moody and Santos as proposed. While Moody's postseason struggles make him expendable, he is a younger, cheaper asset with potential. Trading him for a 35-year-old Thompson who may only have 1 or 2 productive years left could hinder long-term flexibility. One final run at chasing greatness. Thompson's potential return to the Golden State Warriors is an intriguing prospect, blending basketball logic with emotional resonance. His shooting and playoff experience could elevate a contending roster, while his homecoming would honor a legacy that defines the franchise. However, his defensive limitations, financial constraints, and the risk of reigniting past tensions cannot be overlooked. If executed with clear communication and a shared commitment to a final run, a Klay Thompson reunion could create a fitting epilogue to the Warriors' golden era. As we edge closer to the NBA offseason, the New York Knicks will undoubtedly find themselves linked to players around the NBA. They're currently a team in flux, having fired Tom Thibodeau despite him taking them to the Eastern Conference Finals. In a recent article for the Sporting News, Dean Simon proposed a trade that would see Mikal Bridges, leaving New York in return for some additional youth, scoring, and size. Simons's proposed deal looks like this. If the Knicks were to entertain the idea of shipping Bridges' expiring contract away in exchange for several interesting pieces to bolster their supporting cast, Golden State may emerge as an ideal trade partner in the coming months, Simon wrote. Bridges would have the opportunity to become an extremely valuable backcourt partner for Curry, as his defensive skill set and jump shooting ability could give the Warriors an added jolt on both ends of the floor. The Golden State Warriors will likely focus on plugging gaps elsewhere in the rotation before targeting a 3-and-D forward. They desperately need a legitimate big man to help anchor the paint. Furthermore, it's doubtful the Knicks will give up on Bridges after just one season. After all, they parted with 5 future draft picks to bring him to Madison Square Garden. The front office will likely want to see how he fares under a new head coach. Knicks suffer first blow in coaching search. Talking of a new head coach. Shortly after Thibodeau was released from the Knicks, Jay Wright's name was quickly floated as a potential successor. Wright spent 21 years coaching the Villanova Wildcats and has a relationship with multiple key members of the Knicks' current roster. However, as Steph Davis of Hoops HQ reported, Wright appears uninterested in joining the NBA. Breaking. Jay Wright has confirmed to me that he has informed the Knicks that he is not interested in any coaching position and plans to remain retired, Davis reported via X. Wright is the first coach to take himself out of the running for the Knicks' head coaching job. Now, the front office must turn its attention to the other candidates on their list. Knicks reportedly keen on Jason Kidd. According to a June 6 report from ESPN's Shams Charania and Tim McMahon, the Knicks are interested in hiring Jason Kidd of the Dallas Mavericks. The New York Knicks are conducting active due diligence on Dallas Mavericks coach Jason Kidd among other head coaching candidates in their search to replace Tom Thibodeau, sources told ESPN, Charania and McMahon reported. The Knicks have yet to request permission to speak to Kidd, who has 2 years remaining on the contract extension he signed during the Mavs' 2024 run to the NBA Finals, sources said. Kidd is an experienced head coach at the NBA level. He would instantly command respect within the locker room. Furthermore, he already has a relationship with Jalen Brunson. The duo worked together during Kidd's first season with the Dallas Mavericks. If the Knicks do pry Kidd away from the Mavericks, he would likely want to keep Bridges around. The former All-Star guard favors players who can impact the game on both ends of the floor. And, despite the criticism Bridges received this past season, he's still an elite two-way player.